How's it going, my peeps? It is now time for the Raw results slash highlights and review video. I'll go over the Raw results and give you guys my thoughts on the show. Tonight's Raw was the Slammy Awards edition, and the show kicked off with Rey Mysterio versus Damien Sandow in a one-on-one matchup, which Rey Mysterio actually won. Pretty decent match. And then after that, you have Booker T coming out for the first Slammy Awards, and it's for the Tell Me I Didn't Just See That Awards. And the nominees are Brad Maddox low-blowing Ryback, Daniel Bryan losing in 18 seconds, and you also have Kofi Kingston when he walked on his hands at the Royal Rumble and avoided elimination that way, and CM Punk hitting the GTS on The Rock. And then, guess who makes his return? The Boogeyman returns, and he does his usual thing, you know, with the clock. He smashes it on his head, does the boogie dance and all that good stuff. And then eventually, Booker T, you know, he announces the winner of the Slammy Awards, and it's actually Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston comes out and thanks the fans, and that's pretty much it. And then we actually get a Divas match. It's Kaitlyn versus Eve, and Kaitlyn actually wins the match. So it looks like Kaitlyn might be getting a shot soon, who knows. And then the New Age Outlaws come out to award another Slammy. This time it's for Comeback of the Year. Nominees were Brock Lesnar, Jericho, DX, and Jerry the King Lawler. The King wins, and then he gives a speech, thanks to fans and stuff like that. And then we get Kofi Kingston versus Tensai in a one-on-one matchup, and Kofi Kingston wins. So Tensai goes from beating guys like John Cena, CM Punk, to getting beat by guys like Kofi Kingston. Vickie then comes out to award another Slammy for Kiss of the Year, and the nominees are all AJ. It's AJ kissing Daniel Bryan, Kane, John Cena, I don't know, a bunch of people. And the winner is obviously AJ, but it's AJ kissing John Cena. So AJ comes out, and then eventually Vickie tells her to explain herself, you know, for what she did at TLC. AJ says she doesn't owe anybody an explanation, and then they start arguing, and eventually Dolph Ziggler comes out to stop them from arguing. And then AJ says, you know, that might have been the kiss of the year, but it's nothing compared to this one. And then she jumps on Dolph Ziggler and starts kissing him. And then after that segment, we get the Great Khali versus David Otunga. He comes out with Natalya. Great Khali wins with the brain shot. And after that, Ric Flair actually comes out, so he makes his return to announce the Superstar of the Year. The nominees are Sheamus, John Cena, Big Show, and CM Punk. I tried to vote, but for some reason the app wasn't working. So yeah, I was gonna vote for CM Punk, but anyways, not like my vote was gonna make the difference. He announces John Cena as the Superstar of the Year, so yeah, John Cena wins. He comes out, he doesn't really get the chance to talk too much, but he actually awards the award to Ric Flair, says Ric Flair deserves this, and then he leaves, and then CM Punk comes out, so CM Punk's music hits, and he gets a good pop, and he comes out, and he cuts a good promo. He has some valid reasons. He states why he thinks John Cena shouldn't have won the award. Says John Cena's had like the worst year of his career. You know, he lost against The Rock, the same guy CM Punk's gonna beat at the Rumble. He lost last night at TLC, and he was the first guy to cash in Money in the Bank and lose. So he's had a terrible year, and I agree with every single thing CM Punk has said. And then him and Ric Flair argue. CM Punk, you know, says he should get the award. He should be Superstar of the Year. Eventually, CM Punk starts saying he could beat Ric Flair even on these crutches, you know, on one leg. So Ric Flair challenges CM Punk, and then Ric Flair goes to the ring, tells CM Punk to bring it. They get a commercial. Once they come back, you know, they start to fight. Well, not really. CM Punk just grabs one of his clutches and hits Ric Flair with it, and then smashes it on the back of his, on his back basically. And then he was about to smash the other crutch on Ric Flair's back, but he took a bit too much time. He was mocking Ric Flair's taunts, and when it came time for him to hit Ric Flair with the second crutch, Ric Flair got up and raked CM Punk's eye. CM Punk rolls out of the ring, and then Ric Flair locks on the figure four on Paul Heyman. After that, Ric Flair gets on a microphone and says he's had a lot of fun in this town. But then the Shield's music hits, and they come out And then they go to commercial. Once they come back for commercial, Daniel Bryan and Kane are there, and they're all fighting it out with the Shield, Ric Flair, Daniel Bryan, and Kane. They take care of Kane and Daniel Bryan. Then they're about to do the triple powerbomb on Ric Flair through the announcer's table, but Ryback comes out. And unlike last night at TLC when Ryback came out, he didn't get a reaction at all. Tonight on Raw, though, he did. So he comes out, makes the save, takes out the Shield, and he also throws, well, he puts up Seth Rollins, in a military press position and throws him on top of the announcer's table, but it doesn't break. So might have been a fail there if their intention was for the announce table to break. The rest of the Shield just bail. I think they bail with Seth Rollins too, I'm not sure. But anyways, that's it for that. And then backstage, you get Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Ric Flair. Ric Flair's thanking them. And then Kane is like, oh, we finally got our hands on the Shield. And he says yes. And then Daniel Bryan says no. And then Kane says yes. And then Ric Flair says woo. And Daniel Bryan says no. And then Ric Flair starts saying yes. And then woo. And Kane says yes. Daniel Bryan says no. Basically got it like that Jericho and Daniel Bryan segment a while back. So yeah. After that, we get Brodus Clay versus JTG, kind of a random matchup, but yeah, Brodus Clay wins the matchup. Typical Brodus Clay matches they used to have a couple months back where he beats his opponents pretty quickly. And then Santino Marella and Tensai, out of all the combinations, so yeah, Santino and Tensai come out toward the lull moment of the year. And when Tensai comes out, well, Santino comes out first, and Tensai comes right behind. And when he came out, he's just tripped and just fell on his face. Pretty sure he did that on purpose. Yeah, 100% sure it's on purpose. And he had had this ice pack taped to his head, pretty much selling the Trouble in Paradise from Kofi Kingston. And it was a pretty funny segment. Santino actually referred to Tensai as Albert and also said in Japanese Tensai means Fat Albert, as a joke. And the nominees for Lone Moment of the Year were The Rock making fun of John Cena, the anger management segments with Kane and Daniel Bryan, Randy throwing coffee and food on Ricardo, and also putting Matt Stryker's face in cake, and Vickie Guerrero dancing. I was personally rooting for the anger management segments, but The Rock wins. And Santino says, unfortunately, The Rock can't be here to take this award, so on behalf of him, he's gonna keep it until The Rock, takes it or whatever. And then Daniel Bryan comes out, and he starts chanting, no, 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 the award should be his. And then Kane he comes out and grabs Daniel Bryan, picks him up, and just takes him away to the backstage area. And then right after that, we get Cody Rhodes versus Sin Cara, and they've got the Sin Cara lighting, I should say, and Cody Rhodes wins the matchup with the Crossroads. And then Santino and Layla come out, Zack Ryder and Layla come out to present the hashtag of the year awards. The nominees are Ryback for hashtag Feed Me More, Johnny Ace for hashtag People Power, Zack Ryder for hashtag Woo 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 You Know It, and R-Truth for hashtag Little Jimmy. The winner is hashtag Feed Me More, so Zack Ryder says he'll go, give this to Ryback, and then he says Woo 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 You Know It, and leaves. And then Big Show comes out with that big-ass steel chair from last night at TLC. Talks about how, once again, the crowd disappoints him. They didn't vote him as the Superstar of the Year. But he says despite that, he's happy because he's still the World Heavyweight Champion. And then the crowd starts chanting, boring, boring, boring. And he says, okay, you want to chant that? I'll stay here all night. I'll sit on this chair and stay here until you stop. And then Sheamus comes out, and he starts talking about last night's match. Congratulates Big Show, says, last night you were the better man, you beat me fair and square, even though you used that big steel chair. And he shakes Big Show's hands, and then he goes to leave, but Big Show actually starts making fun of Sheamus, telling him to go, to the back of the line. Sheamus turns around, starts attacking Big Show, starts hitting him with that big-ass steel chair, and then hits the bro kick to finish it off. And then Sheamus leaves, and Dolph Ziggler comes out. Looks like he's about to cash in, but then who comes out to ruin the party? John Cena comes out, and he comes out. The people just boo the hell out of John Cena when they see him, attack Dolph Ziggler and stop him from cashing in. He attacks Dolph Ziggler and throws him against the barricade and leaves. And then we have 3MB coming out for a tag team matchup, and their opponents are The Miz, Del Rio. They didn't go to commercial, and once they come back, there's Vickie and Dolph Ziggler backstage. Vickie wants to know about last night at TLC and why did AJ interfere, and Dolph Ziggler says he didn't know she was going to interfere, and then he says, it's pretty obvious, Vickie's jealous, and her jealousy is getting ugly, tired, and old, just like her, and then Vickie says, okay, you want revenge on John Cena? And then she books a match. It's going to be John Cena teaming up with Vickie to face off against Dolph Ziggler and AJ. They then go back in the ring where The Miz has a microphone and he introduces their tag team partner, which is Tommy Dreamer. He comes out to a huge pop. The team of The Miz, Del Rio, and Dreamer won the matchup when Del Rio hits the corner integrity on Heath Slater, and then he was about to lock on the cross arm breaker, but Tommy Dreamer wanted to get tagged in, so he tags in Dreamer. Dreamer hits the DDT on Heath Slater and gets a pinfall victory. After that, Sheamus comes out to award the Slammy for Newcomer of the Year. The nominees were Ryback, Antonio Cesaro, Damien Sandow, and Brodus Clay. The winner ends up being Ryback. He comes out, quotes Owen Hart saying, "Enough is enough, it's time for a change," and he's that change. Ryback then heads to the ring for a matchup against the United States Champion Antonio Cesaro, who comes out. He says he should have been, the Newcomer of the Year. They have the match, and Ryback looks like he was about to win, so Antonio Cesaro just got out of the ring, grabbed his United States Championship, and he was about to leave, but Ryback grabs him and military presses him back in the ring, but then Antonio Cesaro just rolls out the other side of the ring and just leaves, so Ryback wins by countout. And after that, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, JR, and Mean Gene Okerlund come out to award the match of the year Slammy. And the nominees are The Rock versus John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, and also, what else was there? Oh yeah, Undertaker versus Triple H at WrestleMania, and Big Show versus Sheamus at Hell in a Cell. And the winner ends up being the Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Triple H. Triple H comes out to take the award, gives a speech, in the end says he knows there's a $1,000,000 question out there, and he's going to answer it right now. No, we haven't seen the last of The Undertaker. And then backstage, we have the Shield attacking Tommy Dreamer, and they take him out, and then a couple referees and Ricardo come up to them, and Ricardo's like, what are you guys doing? And then they attack Ricardo too and take him out as well, and then they leave. And then AJ comes out, and she requests the crew members to set up a ladder, so they bring up a ladder, set it up in the ring, and she starts climbing the ladder. She talks about how everybody's been asking her why she did what she did, and she says it's, she thought it was pretty obvious why, and then she was about to explain, but then Vickie comes out saying nobody cares. She comes to the ring, and before they argue, Dolph Ziggler comes out, and then John Cena comes out for the matchup. So the match goes on their way. It starts with Dolph Ziggler and John Cena, and then Dolph tags in AJ, so John Cena has to tag in Vickie. Vickie gets the upper hand, so then AJ just leaves the ring and leaves. Goes backstage and ditches Dolph Ziggler. And then a few moments later, Vickie ditches John Cena. So it's just down to Dolph and John Cena. And not too long afterwards, John Cena locks on the STF. And then AJ comes out, and behind her is Big E Langston or something like that. He's that big jack dude from NXT. And he charges the ring, and he takes out John Cena and hits some sort of power slam, and then AJ's music hits and she skips around Big E while Big E stands over John Cena. So, what did I think about the show tonight? I thought it was a decent show. I'd give it a 6.5, 7 on 10, something like that. Definitely didn't expect this debut, but now I guess we know who's going to be occupying John Cena, or who's going to be keeping John Cena busy until, I guess he faces The Rock, probably once again at WrestleMania. So, last year it was Kane, so it looks like this time it's this guy. So we're probably going to have a match between these two at the Rumble. Also, kind of disappointed that CM Punk didn't win the Superstar of the Year award. I mean, come on, John Cena? CM Punk just said it perfectly. John Cena had like the worst year ever, you know, by like being the first guy to cash in Money in the Bank and lose. Also lose against The Rock, also lost at TLC, also a bunch of matches. But whatever. It is what it is. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll be uploading some videos. Might be W13, might be something else. You'll see. Anyways, I'm out, guys. See ya.